politician will stand up there and say whatever they want to say. And inside their mind, they only have one thing. How can they win the next elections? That's all that matters to them. For us, it's bigger than that. Number one, we are answerable before our Creator. That God has chosen us to be His representatives on earth. We need to translate whatever is in our scriptures, because believe me, there is no scripture of any religion that will tell you to incite one community against another. Okay, let me tell you, Jeff, I'm not a Kenyan by accident. None of us is a Kenyan by accident. Jeff, if you're a Kenyan by accident, please park and go. I am a Kenyan because God decided I should be in Kenya. And in His wisdom, He decided that it's not for one ethnic community. No one is special. My book tells me that God created us, different tribes and nations, so that we may know one another. And again, is a sign of the might of God. That's why we are different. Then our constitution in the preamble tells us we are proud of our diversity. Ethnic, religious, cultural, and everything. So we live together. Now, we as religious leaders, what do we need to do? To call back people when they go astray. Let the Archbishop and the Reverend here invoke the teachings in the Bible about what, because these people at the end of the day, they will come for blessings to Reverend Oginde. They will go to the Archbishop for the blessing. And some of them go even and kneel down and cry. We've seen them crying in public. So we need also to tell them, tomorrow you're coming to me for blessings, but listen. And for the Muslim politicians, you know what I'll tell them? The tongue is a blessing from God. But if you misuse it, it will be a curse. And I'll just share a teaching of the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him. He said, do you want paradise? Then guarantee me the use of two organs in your body. Jeff, you want to know what they are? God. What is between your lips and what is between your legs? And I guarantee you, Jannah, paradise. Today we are not going to talk about what is between your legs. Let's talk about what is between your lips. Cursing, we curse with our tongue. Giving false witness, which you said, actually I thought you were quoting from the Quran. It is the tongue. Backbiting, it is the tongue. Then that is now, it becomes a curse. But when you bless people, just like the Archbishop said, it's a blessing. We are communicating to Kenyans now. Jeff, you are known all over the world because of the use of your tongue. Okay? So it is a blessing that we should use. So for me, what we need to do is, in our sermons, whether it is Friday or Saturday or Sunday, it's not enough just to tell people on how to go to paradise. I keep on telling the other chefs, you know, before I go to the other side, I have to live in this world. And I have to live in this world with other people peacefully. So we need also to add in our sermons, between now and the election, every day, we have to keep on talking to the people. Tell them, before you go to heaven, you have to live in this world, and we have to live peacefully. And invoke our scriptures to these people. Because at the end of the day, they come inside there. There's something, you know, it's like, Jeff, as you're driving and a matatu misbehaves. You know what you'll say? After all, it's a matatu. This is what I expect from matatus. This is where we are with our politicians. After all, he's a politician. What do we expect from the politicians? But now we need to bring reason back and tell them, no, you could be a politician, but you do not have the license to speak the way you want. There is freedom of expression, but every freedom has a limitation. There is no absolute. There is nothing that is absolute. You have the freedom to swing your hands, Jeff, as you're walking, ends where my nose begins. So swing your hands, but don't touch my nose. Make noise, but don't spread propaganda. Talk to the people, look for votes, but don't incite people. So we need to call them back. Let's reason.
Absolutely. Let's reason and let's keep talking and let's not get tired of spreading that message. Sheikh Ibrahim, thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, Reverend Doctor. Come back and I'm going to ask you all, and Archbishop, are we ready for August? Are we ready as a country, as IEBC? Are we ready for August? I'm going to ask you this. And also moving forward, what more can we do? Because like Archbishop said, there's no other Kenya to go to. There's no other Kenya.
No.
Where are we going to go?
Hakuna.
No spare parts for Kenya.
No. This is the kind of conversation we should be having each and every day. We've got to keep talking, because the minute we stop talking, the minute we start fighting, and you do not want to go down that slippery slope, keep tweeting at Kevig Jeff at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JK Live. We'll be back with these amazing gentlemen and their wise words in a moment.
Soap. It cleans and protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. So no matter what type of mom you are, trust Dettol.
Nimetuma pesa kwa namba. Mambo sasa ni self-service. Tuma hiyo confirmation message kwa 456. Hivyo tu.
Kumbuka kuhakikisha jina na namba kabla ya kutuma pesa kila wakati. Jichanue and take control.
Best thing ni mkae chini na mwongee kama watu wakubwa.
Siwezi.
Because enyewe I'm really being affected.
Loretta Ligongwa.
Hiyo ndio niko na. Kuniambia kweli.
It's the beginning of a new adventure. To the heart of the haciendas. Citizen TV presents a blazing and spicy telenovela, blended with power, revenge, and romance. La Desalmada, starting this Sunday at 10 p.m. We're having a very, very appropriate discussion today. It's all about reason. It's a time to reason. There's a time for everything, like the good book says. A time to reflect, and those who should be listening.
I hope so too.
Because, like you said, all it takes is one word.
Oh, yes.
One word could flip this whole thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And we're walking on eggshells.
It's true. Very true. You asked Sheikh, what can we do? And I think he made a very good point. I serve as chair. Those MCAs, those members of parliament, and all these aspirants and candidates who are seeking elective positions, all the way to national level. Let's take responsibility over them. If I take responsibility over one or two, another one's the same, we can help them navigate this because they are desperate for votes. That is true. So some of the things that we are hearing is out of desperation. But it is careless. It can destroy. So this is something that we have committed ourselves to do. So like when this Eldoret thing happened, I made several calls to various political leaders who I felt should do something about this. And I am glad to say that they listen. And some of the things we talked about, I could see them when they got to the political platforms. They did. some of the agencies, we are also to be responsible to them, so that we call them to encourage them as they take this charge of this particular situation or that particular situation or this difficult thing, just to call and say, Jeff, I'm with you. We are praying for you. You are doing a good job, or maybe this is what you could do in this situation to save the day. And in this way, we pastor the nation, so that we are not, as pastors and church leaders, are also complaining like everybody. Let's complain when we have to, but let's also act and do something proactively. Not everything needs to be done in the media, because these are ordinary folks like us. And when you reach to them at a personal level, they listen, they hear. And I believe that if we do this consistently all the way to August, we may see a better nation. And so I would want to encourage not just the Evangelical Alliance, but all of us. Sheikh here, I'm sure knows a few leaders here and there. He can call them. If he hears them, somebody saying, take a phone and call him and say, my brother, that was not wise. You know, what you said there was not wise, or what you did there was not wise. Maybe next time you should do this and that, and you give them guidance. And when they do a good thing, I also do that. When they do a good thing, I also call them and I say, that was a good thing. The way you dealt with that situation, I think that is leadership. So in that way, I believe that we can help bring this nation together, and we can navigate these waters of elections and get to the other side safely.
Absolutely. Archbishop, are they listening to you when you talk to them? Are they listening?
I cannot be able to gauge, but I think there's a level in which they are. There is a level in which they are. You know, I was misunderstood when I came out to say we don't need politicians to speak in the churches. I foresaw what is now happening in the political rallies, that they are going to use a church space to make hate speech. But the church space, what needs to come out of that space is a gospel message of reconciliation, of healing, of love, of care. And that's why I came out to say we have to protect this space so that there will be no two statements, because that time there were many statements coming from the pulpit. So beside the gospel message, which the media did not actually report, they only reported what the politicians say, and then it ended up that that church on Sunday, church worship did not happen, is a political statement that came out. And that was what pained me. And I listened to God, and you know, God was angry with all of us because we are not allowing His space, the gospel message, to be the one flowing. It is political message is flowing, which was not right. So whether they are listening or not, but what we can see today, we have protected that space, and they come and they don't demand. And even when they try, we said no. And there is also a statement, and all the churches and the religious fraternity came to support what was said then. We will keep on hammering the message of hope to Kenyans. And my New Year message, and I continue to make it my message as we begin the year, is Kenya is a real nation of real people. And our reality also demonstrates that we are going through real issues. So we are real people going through real issues. But the beauty is we have a real God. And we are calling people to turn to the